welcome to Cuban Mama Cooking. It's our first time on, and we are a new channel that's going to teach you how to cook Cuban food. Really quick, let me talk about myself for a second so that you know I'm authentic Cuban, and I just didn't learn these recipes online. I actually learned them all from my mom. I was born in Cuba, and I came when I was about 6 years old. I've been here more than 35 years. My mother and I always enjoyed her food. I'm a family of 5, so my mom cooked for plenty of people all her life. I was raised in Miami, right in the heart of Cuban cooking. My mom cooked in shorthand cook for factories when factories were back in Miami, and she taught me all her great recipes, and I'd love to enjoy them now with my family. After many years of friends and local people here where I live telling me that they really wanted to learn how to cook all this that my mom taught me, I decided I didn't have time to write a book, and I don't have time to sit down and write the recipes out for them. So my lovely daughters suggested that I do a Cuban cooking channel. So again, this is a Cuban Mama Cooking. Not to be confused with other channels out there if you want to subscribe and look at our recipes. Today is our first one, so congratulations, you're part of the show. Today I'm going to cook Cuban fricasé, chicken fricasé. It's basically based with chicken, and you will see in the video that I've already videoed all the recipe that you need, all the ingredients, and you'll also see the recipe later on written down. Right now I'm going to do the cooking part so that you know step by step, just in case you want to watch as you cook, how to prepare this plate. Okay, the plate that I'm preparing is about for 6 to 7 people. So as I said, you will see later that I've already told you all the ingredients and how much I bought of each part. Right now you're seeing that I've washed everything and I've prepped everything. And what I'm doing is I'm putting it into the pan. Because this is chicken fricassé and you do want it to roast really well when you're cooking it, I leave the skin on. It will fall right off later on, as you will see. So I have 2 chicken breasts. Because we have friends over, I'm gonna clean this off a little. So I left this for you to look. So that you see I do clean off the fat a little, not too much. Again, it's gonna fall right off, and you can put it right back in there. All this has been pre-washed. I pre-washed all the meat, or all the chicken. As I said when I discussed the ingredients, this is all organic chicken, which makes it much better tasting. Some Cubans, like my mom, is old school, so she would make it out of a whole chicken. Again, when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of organic stores out there, organic recipes. So the whole chicken was the best choice. Today, there are so many fabulous choices out there of organic or green wise, which is what I use from Publix, that you really don't have to use the whole chicken to get that rich flavor you get. So I'm putting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drumsticks, again, all organic, 2 chicken breasts, and 1, 2, 3, 4 chicken thighs. My family is a big family. We are full-time workers outside the home, but they are also athletes, and eating fresh has always been our best choice. We eat out sometimes, but very rarely. They love Cuban food. They love the energy it gives them, and it's healthy for them. And first, I want to discuss the ingredients that you need for the meal I'm going to prepare today. Originally, I'm Cuban, so we are going to talk about the meals a little bit in Spanish. This first meal is called Cuban Fricasé de Pollo, which means kind of a chicken stew in English, okay? So first, let me show you all the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need plenty of chicken. This meal that I'm making will feed about 6 to 7 people. For that many people, I have purchased from Publix. I always go green wise. It tastes better. It has no kind of additions to the chicken, and it's really rich in flavor. So I got some drumsticks. Then I have some thighs, and then I have some chicken breast. Unfortunately, my family, everyone eats a different part of the chicken, so I have to have a variety. Then we have the vegetables ingredients. So I have a plum tomato. Again, I'm feeding 6 to 7 people. I have 2 yellow small onions, a whole garlic. I have a potato. Some of us eat potatoes, some of us don't in the chicken fricassé. So I just put one for today, a large potato. A green and a red bell pepper. and you are going to use about half of it. Later on our second clip or third clip, you will see the full recipe written out for you, and you'll be able to follow it a little better. Then on the dry ingredients, I have first of all, what you're going to season it with. We're going to start, believe it or not, Cubans cook with a lot of brown sugar. We don't put a lot of sugar in it, but we do add it to most of our meals. You're going to have a pinch of brown sugar to saute and roast your chicken and your potato. And then you're going to start adding the other dry ingredients. Sea salt. Again, all these products you can get in your local Publix or market store. Doesn't have to be a Publix. So I have sea salt, very fine grain. I sometimes add the Goya, sometimes I don't to my meals because of the additives it does bring. Today I might add a little bit, but you will see it in our second clip where you see me cooking the meal. Okay, then I have more garlic. Cubans love garlic. More garlic powder. I have oregano, and then I have cumin. Also some of the staples that Cubans use for their meals. Then I have a couple of bay leaves that I will be putting in. Then I will add a little bit of cooking wine. It does not have to be this brand. Publix also carries a generic brand that's really good. I have tomato paste. This is my brand of preference. I love the way that it tastes on the food, and it doesn't have any additives either. Then I will add a little bit of vegetable oil, and you'll see how I'll add that later. And then last but not least, I'll add a couple or a few green olives for extra Spanish flavor. I have rice here because traditionally Cubans, even though we eat starch with our meat or our chicken, we also eat a lot of white rice. So I have jasmine white rice from Mahatma. Again, you don't have to get this one. This is the best flavor for me. For a meal from 6 to 7 people, I usually put about 5 to 6 cups of the Mahatma rice. Okay, and then I'll add a little bit of oil to that, and you will see it as I cook it, and I'll add a little bit of salt. Again, here you have what I cook my rice in, and it's a rice cooker, and it's also kind of other things you can cook in it, but I make my white rice in there. Okay, I hope you join us in our not only our cooking lesson, but the rest of our recipes coming up. Okay, so I often wash my hands, especially working with chicken and all the ingredients that are in this recipe. I don't want anyone getting sick, so I wash my hands often. The next step is you have the chicken in the pot. My pot is Calphalon. It's a big, hefty pot. I love it for cooking. I'm going to add everything just by touch. That's the way I was taught. But again, all these ingredients and the steps to do it and how much you need for everything will be added to the video. So please stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil. I don't put too much. You may add olive oil to this. It tastes great. I usually do it when I'm making yellow rice mostly. Okay, so I've cut up all my ingredients already. These are my 4 onions. My 2 onions cut up into pieces. And then probably chop it up a little more for fineness. And what you're gonna see me do in a minute is I'm going to saute the next step. All this is gonna be sauteed. Okay, I'm cutting up my potato. I cut it up a little more because it's a very hearty potato. It's pretty big. Okay, and then this is a regular potato. My green pepper, bell pepper, in chunks. A red bell pepper in chunks. I've cut up my one large plum tomato into 4 pieces, and plenty of garlic. Garlic. Cubans love garlic. Okay, I had a little bit of garlic left. I want to make sure that I'm precise with the recipe. You saw how much garlic I said I was going to need. I had a little bit left. It's always room for later. In our next clip, you're going to see how I saute this. So our next step is I put our heat in high. I have a double burner, which I love, some Samsung. Okay, and then I have all the ingredients that I'm going to start sauteing in the stove or in the pot. As you can hear, if you could hear this, you would see that it starts, simmering, and it sounds that you can tell that it starts to saute the chicken and the potato and everything that's in there. As I said before, and you're going to see in the video later, I put a pinch of brown sugar. Okay, it's not even a teaspoon. This helps the chicken and the potato marbleize and make it really caramelly looking. It does not taste anything like sugar, so don't worry. Okay. I'm also gonna start stirring it up. Again, I love my Calphalon. Calphalon products are the best, so that you don't have to, have Calphalon. And then I start roasting it with the brown sugar first. Like I said, I left the skin on. This is organic chicken, so the skin, falls right off, and it's delicious. I wish you could smell this. It smells like home. So if you see the chicken and the potato right now in the pot, it's already browning to perfection. I love chicken fricassé, and so does my family. If we have a guest over today. If we didn't have a guest, this would probably feed us twice. But we have a guest over, so it's going to be a total of 7 of us. So it's plenty to eat all this up. I'm going to show you also some olive oil that I use. Any mild or even heavy olive oil is fine. I did put some vegetable oil in there, but I don't like to put too much vegetable oil, so I make sure that I have plenty of olive oil in stock. So, I wish you could smell this. It smells delicious, and I haven't even added sea salt yet. It smells amazing. I'm going to let it, kind of forget about it for a little bit, let it burn. I'm going to add my sea salt. Again, you'll see how much I add of everything. I'll write it, you'll have it all in the video so you can see it later. But I'm adding my sea salt. I'm going to stir that in there. It's going to start popping. Don't be scared. This is not a plate that you can leave and come back to later. You do have to stay close because you are leaving this on high for now until the plate is ready to simmer by itself. Okay, now we have our other ingredients, and I'm going to start adding our dry ingredients. Oregano. Comino. Garlic powder. I'm going to stir it. Okay, so as the chicken is simmering and roasting, you can move away from it a little bit. It's not, you don't have to stay right next to the chicken. Just don't leave the kitchen, okay? Because you don't want to ruin this great recipe. So I started with the rice. I have a big rice cooker because we eat a lot of white rice. What you do is you put the whatever amount of rice you're putting. I put 5 of these, which are cups. Then I rinse the rice underwater. Then I drain that water completely, and then I fill it up to the T. Only 5 cups. If not, your rice is going to be very mushy. If you know how to make white rice, then you don't have to even worry about this part. Okay, I put some sea salt in there after I add the water back in there. I put some olive oil. Stir it up. So I've already put the rice down. You saw that part. Now you're gonna see how much you want to roast this chicken. Okay, you're ready to eat it right now. Even though it's raw, you can't eat it like this. But look how beautifully brown that chicken is. If you look at the thigh, it's beautiful. You start looking at the different parts. Look at the chicken breast. Even the potato is gonna taste amazing. The potato is going to roast to perfection, okay? If any of you are Cuban, I hope your mouth is, salivating because you remember how delicious this all tastes. And you tell all your friends to watch my channel. Please remember to subscribe down below. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. My children talked me into it because they said, Mom, you have to get these recipes online somehow. I work full-time, I raise my kids, my husband and I full-time, so we don't have time to write a book right now, so I'm doing that. Ingredients, cooking wine. This has no alcohol, your kid could eat it, it's fine. It all cooks out, so don't worry. I'm gonna add my green olives. Be very generous with the green olives. Dump them all in there. And my bay leaf. Everything is ready. You've added all your ingredients, including the baby. Now I'm gonna add a drinking glass of water so this doesn't dry out for me. Now the key here is check your chicken breast, make sure it's tender, but please listen to this very important advice. You're gonna lower it to 4 or 2, depending on how hot your stove is, okay? You're gonna put the top on it. But very important advice, please keep your eye on the potato. You don't want sloppy potatoes in there, or else it's gonna be more mashed potato than Cuban potato. So as you look at your food, if the potato becomes soft, take it out, put it on a plate, and just set it on the side, and later on, you'll see how the finished product comes out on a plate. Okay, the rice is cooking. The rice is gonna take, I wanted to let you know, about 30 minutes for 6 or 5 cups, depending on how many cups you put. Every rice cooker has a beep button, so it'll tell you when it's done. Okay, so here, we're back. Look at that chicken breast. You can't eat it yet. It's raw. Don't eat it. Okay, so the chicken breast is roasted. The potatoes are roasted. Okay, now you are going to add, remember you added all the other good stuff. Now you're going to add a little bit of foam. I call it foamy. That's what my mom calls it. It's amazing. And this is the tomato paste. Okay, it has no additives. Remember that. You're going to add, again, I'm going to tell you in my recipe how much to add of everything. You're going to see that as you move the chicken around, you're going to see that the ingredients such as the green and red bell pepper are starting to burn. That's your indicator. Lower the heat. Caliente. Lower it down. Again, I told you I have a double burner. So I'm going to go low to like 4 of a single burner. But look how nicely roasted that is. Like before I said that I was going to add sazon Goya. I use this very much for my Cuban chicken and yellow rice. For chicken fricasé, sometimes I don't have to add this. Today, I don't have to add it, which is great because it's less of everything added to your food. Okay, we're back. Now you're gonna see